If you've ever played a game like Assassin's Creed or watched a movie about the Holy Grail, you've likely heard of the Knights Templar, a mysterious order of warrior monks who once held the medieval world in their grip. Clad in white tunics with a blood-red cross, they were the elite defenders of Christendom, amassing wealth and power that rivaled kings. But their story isn't just one of glory. It's a tale of betrayal, conspiracy, and a fall so brutal it left echoes of secrets that still captivate us today. From the battlefields of the Crusades to the flames of a royal purge, how did these knights rise to greatness only to vanish into legend? This is the history of the Knights Templar. The Templars' story begins in the chaos of the early 12th century, amidst the First Crusade. In 1099, Christian armies captured Jerusalem, carving out fragile kingdoms in the Holy Land. Pilgrims flooded in, seeking salvation, but the roads were deadly. Bandits and Muslim raiders preyed on the defenseless. Into this turmoil stepped a French knight, Hugues de Payan. In 1119, he and 8 companions vowed to protect these pilgrims, forming a small band called the Poor Fellow Soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon. They took their name from their headquarters, the Al-Aqsa Mosque on Jerusalem's Temple Mount, believed to be the site of Solomon's temple. Living as monks, they swore vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience, blending the sword with the cross in a way the medieval world had never seen. Their mission resonated deeply. In 1129, at the Council of Troy, the Catholic Church officially endorsed the Templars, thanks to the influence of Bernard of Clairvaux, a powerful monk who wrote their rulebook. The Templars were granted a unique privilege, answering only to the Pope, not local bishops or kings. This autonomy, paired with their noble cause, made them a magnet for donations, land, gold, and recruits poured in from Europe's elite. By the 1130s, the Templars weren't just a small band. They were a growing order, their red cross a symbol of divine protection on the perilous roads to Jerusalem. The Templars' rise came during the height of the Crusades, a series of holy wars that raged across the Middle East. As warrior monks, they were a new breed, trained in combat like knights, but disciplined like clergy. They built stone castles across the Holy Land, like Crac de Chevalier in Syria, a fortress so formidable it still stands today, its walls echoing with the clash of swords. Templars fought in the front lines of battles, often as shock troops, their white mantles streaked with blood and dust. At the 1177th Battle of Montgisard, they helped Baldwin IV of Jerusalem crush a much larger army under Saladin, the Muslim leader who'd become their greatest foe. Their bravery earned them a fearsome reputation. To enemies, they were fanatics. To Christians, they were heroes. But the Templars' true genius wasn't on the battlefield. It was in finance. Pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land needed safety for their wealth, so the Templars invented an early banking system. A noble in France could deposit gold at a Templar preceptory, receive a coded letter, and withdraw funds in Jerusalem. No cash to steal on the road. This system made the Templars medieval Europe's first international bankers. They lent money to kings, managed estates for nobles, and even held the French crown jewels as collateral. By the 1200s, their network spanned from London to Acre, with thousands of members and vast estates. Some say they owned the entire island of Cyprus at one point. Their wealth funded more castles, more knights, and more influence. But it also sowed the seeds of envy. The Templars' power peaked in the 13th century, but the Crusades were faltering. In 1187, Saladin recaptured Jerusalem, a devastating blow. The Templars fought on, moving their headquarters to Acre, but the tide was turning. By 1291, the last Christian stronghold in the Holy Land, Acre, fell to the Mamluks. Templar Grand Master Guillaume de Beaujeu, died defending the city, his body riddled with arrows as the walls burned. With no more Crusader states to protect, the Templars retreated to Europe, their original mission in tatters, yet their wealth and influence only grew. They owned land in nearly every European kingdom, from Portugal to Poland, and their Paris preceptory was a financial hub, housing a treasury that glittered with gold. This wealth made them indispensable, but also vulnerable. Kings and nobles owed them millions, and resentment simmered. The Templars' secrecy didn't help. Rumors swirled about their initiation rites, said to involve spitting on the cross or secret oaths. Their autonomy, once a strength, now made them a target. They answered only to the Pope, not local rulers, which frustrated monarchs like France's King Philip IV, known as Philip the Fair. Philip was a ruler drowning in debt from wars with England and Flanders, and the Templars' treasury was a tempting prize. By 1300, the order's mystique was shifting from reverence to suspicion, their red cross now a lightning rod for whispers of heresy. The Templars' downfall came with shocking speed. On October 13th, 1307, a date some still call the first Friday the 13th, Philip IV struck. He ordered the arrest of every Templar in France, from Grand Master Jacques de Molay to the lowliest squire. Royal agents stormed Templar preceptories at dawn, seizing records and gold. The charges were staggering: heresy, idolatry, sodomy, and worshipping a mysterious head called Baphomet. Philip claimed they'd spat on the cross, denied Christ, and practiced dark rituals. Most of these accusations were fabricated, extracted through torture. Knights were burned, stretched on racks, and starved until they confessed to whatever their captors wanted. Pope Clement V, under pressure from Philip, initially resisted, but soon caved. In 1308, he ordered Templar arrests across Europe, though many kingdoms, like England and Aragon, were skeptical of the charges. The trials dragged on, with hundreds of Templars tortured into false confessions. In France, the ordeal was merciless. Dozens were burned at the stake as relapsed heretics. Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master, was arrested in Paris and endured 7 years of imprisonment. In 1314, he and Geoffroy de Charnay, another senior Templar, were brought to a scaffold outside Notre Dame Cathedral. As flames engulfed them, de Molay cursed Philip and Clement, prophesying they'd die within a year. Eerily, both did. Philip from a hunting accident, Clement from illness, fueling legends of Templar vengeance. The Templars were officially dissolved in 1312 by Pope Clement V at the Council of Vienne. Their lands were transferred to the rival Knights Hospitaller, though Philip kept much of the French holdings for himself. Surviving Templars scattered. Some joined other orders, others vanished into obscurity. In Portugal, they were acquitted and rebranded as the Order of Christ, later funding explorers like Vasco da Gama. But the Templars' sudden end left a void, and their mystery only grew. Their immense wealth seemed to disappear. Some say it was smuggled to Switzerland, laying the foundation for modern banking. Others whisper of hidden treasure, buried in places like Oak Island, Canada, or the Languedoc in France. The Templars' fall birthed enduring myths. By the 18th century, Freemasons claimed Templar origins, weaving them into esoteric lore. Theories linked them to the Holy Grail, said to be hidden in their secret vaults, or to a shadowy cabal controlling world events. These stories, while fanciful, kept the Templars alive in the public imagination. Books like the Da Vinci Code and games like Assassin's Creed cast them as guardians of ancient secrets. Their red cross, a symbol of enigma. Historians, however, see a simpler truth. The Templars were victims of greed and politics, a medieval order too powerful for their own good. The Templars' legacy is a paradox. They're gone, yet everywhere. Their castles, like Tamar in Portugal, stand as UNESCO sites, their stone walls whispering of a lost age. Their banking innovations shaped modern finance. Some credit them with inventing the check. Their military tactics influenced later orders, like the Teutonic Knights, and their ships helped launch the Age of Exploration. But it's their myth that endures most. Treasure hunters still scour the globe for Templar gold, from Scotland's Rosslyn Chapel to Nova Scotia's Oak Island. Conspiracy theorists tie them to everything from the Illuminati to the founding fathers of America. The Knights Templar weren't just warriors. They were a bridge between worlds, blending faith, finance, and fighting in a way the medieval era had never seen. From Hugues de Payens' humble vow to Jacques de Molay's fiery end, their 200-year saga is one of courage, ambition, and betrayal. They defended the Holy Land, bankrolled kings, and died in flames, leaving behind a riddle that still haunts us. What secrets did they take to their graves? In a world of knights and crusades, the Templars stood apart, a brotherhood whose echoes, like their red cross, refused to fade.